Well, the seemingly never-ending mass shootings, they are heartbreaking. While the pain we feel from recent shootings across the U.S. is nothing compared to that of the people directly involved, it still weighs heavy on us.
To offer some ways to deal with these emotional moments, Blanca Cobb, who has a master's degree in psychology, is now here with us live. Blanca, what's the mental impact of several mass shootings?
It's a tremendous impact on everybody. So it doesn't matter whether you live locally, wherever the mass shooting happens, or whether you're at a distance. Look, when it happens so much, it's that desensitization. It's like, oh, there's another one, and which is not the correct approach to have. Other people would get so fearful that they just want to stay home, or they want to have this protective barrier, if you will, around themselves and their family, where they won't go anywhere, or only places that they have to go to. Other people might decide to take the law in their own hands because the given right of feeling safe isn't there. And so they might want to take action to ensure their safety and those of their loved ones. And another approach is that some people will take action. They will echo your sentiments, Eric, that I heard you say, that just enough is enough, it has to stop, and what are we going to do about it?
So how do you cope with grief when you're so far away, Blanca, when you're separated like that?
That's a great question. And because we're humans and we have compassion, we relate to that pain and that fear and that hurt, even across the miles. So I say that you just have to feel it. I mean, you have to grieve. Even if you're at a distance, it doesn't matter. We're all tied through humanity and through compassion and empathy, like I said earlier. So you have to feel it. And it's those emotions that you're able to process and get off your chest, talk to somebody. And the reason that is so important is because if not, then you wallow in it, and you don't want that negativity. You just don't want to ruminate on that negativity and that pain and that hurt, because even though life can be painful, it's still worth living, and we have to find ways to move forward.
So Blanca, what can you do when you feel helpless about the mass shootings?
That's a great question, Lauren, and I know so many people have that same question, and you want to take action. So whatever that is for you, and regardless of where you live, look, you can talk to your local government. You can talk to your local police department and say, hey, how are you prepared? How can we prepare ourselves as citizens? Make sure that you have a plan for you and your children. You can't control what happens in these types of random situations, but you can control how you respond. And you're going to feel more confident if you have some type of plan in place for yourself. And then also whether you can donate to the Red Cross, whether it's a monetary donation or it's blood, because in these types of situations, the Red Cross really comes through for people.
Blanca, do you think, one thing you just made me think of this, volunteering in some way where you're giving, whether like you just said with the taking time out of your schedule, do that, is that a healing process for us, or would that work? I mean, is that something we can do that you're helping the situation a little bit and it also helps you heal?
Absolutely, it's both, Eric. One is that it is healing, and the other thing is the more people who get involved in volunteering for organizations who help mass shooting victims, then what is that saying? The government cannot ignore that. When the numbers of volunteers increase and increase, it's saying this is important. We want change. You cannot argue with facts. You cannot argue with figures. So the more people who get involved, it does send a message.
Blanca, thank you so much. Answering a lot of questions that I know a lot of people are asking right now. If you have questions, if you want to continue the conversation with Blanca, you can go to her Facebook page, which is Blanca Cobb, Body Language Expert.